Okay, crazy morning. Crazy morning. It's harvest time, but with the solar panels in the background, I want to show you my new electric truck. It's a Lightning. Woo! I've been trying to buy this truck for 2 years, and in the end, we ended up buying the exact same trucks we tried to buy 2 years ago. Southern Alberta is not really progressive on electricity, let's say. And so these 4 Lightnings have been sitting, well, there's 4 of them. We only bought 2, but I was trying to buy this truck. And so it's a 2023. And so it was there, and but brand new, never been used. And so they dropped the prices dramatically to try to get rid of these 4 electric trucks. And so we bought 2 of them. Tyler's gonna drive one, I'm gonna drive one. I just charged it here by my shed because I have an RV plug in this shed that's bigger, more juice. 220, I've gotta get my bigger charger from Ford. Sends us the big charger in the mail here in a couple of weeks. But it's unbelievable to drive, unbelievably simple mechanically. There's when I was in the sales office, they pulled out their book and were going to try to sell me, you know, some extended warranty or some service plan, a maintenance plan, which I did have on my diesel, where they do all the oil changes and all the windshield wipers, all that kind of stuff. But as he sat down with me, he says, it would be very hard for me to sell you a maintenance plan on this truck since there's no maintenance to do. And they'll still sell you a plan. They'll still take your money even though there's no maintenance on this truck. He said the maintenance plan is you bring it in once a year and we rotate the tires and we check one fluid level, which is there's some antifreeze in there for cooling the batteries. But he says you never change any fluids on this truck. There's no fluids in this truck to change, ever. You just make sure that one tank of antifreeze is that the level is correct. And then the other thing that's kind of cool is that then you have your windshield washer fluid. You have to keep on top of your windshield washer fluid. Can you believe it? Like, you're gonna get bugs on that window if you don't keep that one tank full of liquid. It is so simple. The suspension is unbelievable. It's a 4-wheel independent suspension. It is so much smoother than my other trucks on these rough roads. It's mind-blowing. Because it's all-wheel drive, you don't get the rear bounce, and because the weight goes from the back of the truck all the way to the front of the truck in one big battery under the bottom, the weight is evenly distributed. And all other pickup trucks, including my first pickup truck, which was a 1965 GMC step side, they have no weight on the back. It's an empty box. There's no weight. And so, and back then, almost all trucks were 2-wheel drive. And the 2 wheels that we're driving were on the back, where there's no weight. So we were stuck all the time. And you make washboards on the roads all the time because your back end just bounces. When you try to accelerate, it just jumps. Whereas this, the weight is totally along the bottom. There's no weight in the front. It's a frunk. It's empty. All the weight goes from the back wheels to the front wheels underneath. Huge battery under here. And so you have very even traction. The weight on the bottom. The suspension on the back is absolutely beautiful. This is giant aluminum, I don't even know what they call that thing, but it's so beautiful because my shock and my spring are here behind the axle and all the shields. There's no way for a rock to get to it. And all we do on our other pickup trucks is replace shock absorbers. Half of the pickup trucks in my fleet right now, the back end is bouncing
and my guys don't even know why. It's because the shock absorbers are gone. And I try to explain, if your truck is bouncing all over the road, you have to take it in and get the shock absorbers replaced. But we do it every 6 months. All the time we're maintaining the suspension on these trucks, and it's crap. Whereas this is all protected behind this huge aluminum A-frames of sorts that it actually goes from front to back. It's not like I'm used to seeing ones that swing up from the middle over, but it's actually up front are the hinges, and so it lifts here at the back. So a big spring shock absorber, everything built inside, and it's totally protected from rocks flying on it. This system will last an incredibly long time compared to the other ones. And so anyway, it's so beautiful. I'm just so happy to be trying this. Now, only time will tell what things can go wrong, but there are so many less things that just by statistics, it's impossible for it to have as many things go wrong as this. If I pulled this into Jiffy Lube and said, could you just look it over? There's nothing for them to do. There is no oil, no air filters, no differential levels to check all those things. Like there's like 10 things that they check on my other trucks and charge me to change or replace or to clean. And there's none of that on this truck. And I don't have to go to a fuel station. I plug in and we make our own fuel with those. That's crazy. We're gonna make our own fuel for the first time in our lives, and it's so quiet. And you know, it might be a little bit embarrassing if the thing hardly moved or went slow. This thing moves like a rocket ship. Like it is the fastest thing I've ever driven in my life. Like it is scary if you just, I mean, it's not, I love it. You just pedal to the metal and it goes like a rocket, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in around 4 seconds. Like it is crazy powerful. And it has a welder plug in the back, and it has 20 amp outlets all over in the vehicle, 8 in the front, 8 in the back, 2 or 3 inside the cab. These are 20 amps. These are like what you would put in your kitchen or your garage. Standard outlets are 15 amp. So this will run anything that you would normally run in a shop or a garage. And with the 220 plug in the back, you can run a small welder, you can run heavy stuff. It's a new paradigm. Like it's a totally new world to be able to run vehicles with these big batteries and with electricity. So I'm super excited. I don't know if you can tell. Talk to you later. So I'm in my truck and I realized I forgot the keys in the house. But it doesn't matter because my phone is also set up as a key. So I just turned on my phone, started the truck, and drove away. Super fun. Anyway, no, it's a nice, and it's a nice trim level. This is a platinum, but yeah, like the price was dropped by 30, let's see here. Anyway, somewhere around $34,000 that they dropped the price of the truck. So now we bought these 2023s for the same price as we would have had to buy a Lightning Flash, which is the lowest level Lightning that you can get the big batteries in. And we need the big batteries for Tyler and I to drive. We may not need the big batteries for just the farm vehicles, but for sure for us to go to Calgary and do things like that, we needed the bigger battery. So it ended up becoming a very affordable truck instead of an expensive truck. And but it's beautiful.